Hi, this is Tony, and we're back on the bench. And this morning, I wanted to do a quick, special, specific video on a specific topic on greasing your fishing reels, and in this case, over greasing your fishing reels. So this is something that you don't ever want to see happen. So this is a Penn Captiva CV4000 spinning reel, relatively more modern reel. Came out in the late 90s and lasted up until somewhere in the early 2000s, I think around 2004, somewhere in there. But I'm just going to zoom in on this here. You can see how heavily over-greased this reel is. And I also believe it's not real fishing reel grease for that matter, but this is way too much grease, and this is what you don't want to have happen. You don't want to be overpacking all this grease in here, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to use this other reel as an example. So this is a Shakespeare Wonder Flight push button reel. Much older reel than that Captiva, totally different generation, different style reel. However, the effects of this reel is going to demonstrate perfectly why you don't want to overgrease your reels. And so I'm trying to turn this handle, and I'm having a really hard time turning this. You can see all this weight and pressure that I'm putting on that handle right now. This is, what happens when you overgrease your reels. And you also don't do regular maintenance for that matter too, but it's also what can happen when you use the wrong kind of fishing reel grease. And this reel is not functional. I mean, you cannot use this reel like this. It's going to have to be heavily cleaned and scrubbed and re-lubed, with fresh oil and fresh grease. But this is a common thing that happens when folks overgrease their reels and then they get all gummed up, as I call it, and hardened, and then the reel just doesn't function. And somebody that worked on the reel and then they put it on the shelf for a few years and then they come back later and then that's the result. Well, what do? A lot of folks, they just end up junking the reel and they go to the store and they get a new one. Well, you don't have to do that, with a little bit of basic maintenance and a little bit of time and some basic tools and whatnot. So the point for today is don't overgrease your fishing reels and use the appropriate grease. So I like to use Penn Precision grease. This is great stuff. It's not that expensive, and I just like to use a small application brush. And I'll just use this gear set here as an example. You don't need to put a lot on there per se. You just need enough to get in the teeth, but you don't need to, get a big old gob of it on there like that. That's what you don't want, okay? So don't do that. Just do light applications of it, on your gear teeth and on your parts and components, and that'll serve you well for a long time to come. So thanks again for watching. This is Tony with Back on the Bench. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.